All right, everybody, welcome back to Booze and News with Jonathan Fleischner.
And Albert DeLeon.
And we got a real special episode for y'all today on Albert's Corner. So I hope you guys get to enjoy it. We're in the middle of our summer break right now, sorta. So we haven't done an Albert's Corner in a while, Albert.
It's been a minute.
But we, had a guest on the other day on our Instagram TV show, Booze and News Interviews, that we're doing now on Instagram. And a discussion came up about the moon landing. I don't even remember how the fuck we got into this, but the moon landing came up. And Albert loves conspiracies. And Albert basically on Instagram said that he thinks the moon landing is fake.
I mean, I don't know for sure. Some of the stuff I've seen makes it sound like it's fake.
You were telling me you think it's fake on Instagram the other day.
I'm telling you, it could be. Could not have never went.
Okay. Well, okay. And you know what? That's a little bit less confident than you were the other day, though. Let's be honest. Because the other day you were saying, "No, we didn't go to the fucking moon and shit." But I agree with you.
I said it as I was using it as an example of conspiracy theories.
Well, I think that it probably happened. I guess that there's possibility that some of it could have been fake, that it probably happened. So anyway, you told me, I was like, why do you think that it was fake, though? Because you were saying, you were basically saying you think it was fake. And I was like, why? And you said, because you saw this YouTube video. And you want to set this YouTube, and you sent me a link to a video and whatever, but you want to set this up for me?
It's not a YouTube video. I mean, well, it's an interview. It's an interview that some little girl did with Buzz, whatever the fuck his name is.
It 100% is a YouTube video. She is not a real journalist or reporter. This is on her.
She is a journalist and she's an inspiring journalist.
Her name is Zoey. She's 6 years old. She has a YouTube channel with a little brother, and she's interviewed people like Abby Cadabby. If y'all don't know who that is, they're on Sesame Street. But also interviewed.
She's interviewed some high profile people.
Abby Cadabby is legit. So she interviews 6-year-old interviews Buzz Aldrin, who most of y'all know is the moonwalking badass astronaut from Apollo 11, and at this national book festival. And because he's an author as well, he had a book that I guess had just come out, or he was signing or something. So anyway, this is the video Albert sends me to dismiss the moon landing theory. Is an interview of a 6-year-old and a 85-year-old astronaut. Let's watch it. And I gotta turn on Albert's sound. Fuck, I forgot about that.
I've already heard it.
Well, we're gonna watch the whole little clip right here, not just that little one line you fucking sent me. So here, I'm gonna turn this shit on, because I need you to hear it, the whole thing. Alright, now you can hear. Let's play this shit.
Fish. Long time.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money is a good thing. If you want to buy new things, new rockets, instead of keep doing the same thing over, then it's going to cost more money. And other things need more money too. So having achieved what the president wanted us to do, and then what thousands, millions of people in America and millions of people around the world. You know, when we toured around the world after we came back, the most fascinating observation was signs that said, we did it. Not just us, not just America, but we, the world, different countries. They felt like they were part of what we were able to do. And that made us feel very good.
All right, so I'm gonna pause it there because that's the end of that question. All right, so
By the way, I heard all that already. Just so you know.
cool. So let's get into it because the clip that you sent me, the edited one that was like a minute long, that was all fucking edited.
It's not edited. It's not edited. It's just shorter than this. It just cuts it off at a certain point.
Bro, it's not edited. They literally take a bit and
It's just cut off.
They take a bit and they loop it. You want me to play it? You want me to play it for these people so they can see what the fuck you're talking about?
I just watched what I sent you. You don't have to play nothing back.
No, the video that you sent me, it cuts off right at the point where he goes, because we didn't go, and then it starts looping it and zooming in and doing shit. That's all editing, bro. The point.
Okay, that's editing, but the point, John, is not the editing and the looping. The point is that he said they didn't go to the moon.
And it's taken out of context, which is
it's not.
Yes, it is, and that's why it's important to listen to the entire thing that he said. And look,
and I did, and John did,
and the viewers out there just heard, and the viewers out there just heard it, so they can all listen to it. But we're gonna talk about it. So in the context of what he said, right? He says the girl goes, "Why hasn't people been to the moon in such a long time?" Right? And he goes, "Well, we didn't go, and we have to think about the reasons we haven't gone since."
No.
That's what he says. And he says, we've already achieved it. And he says, listen to me. I will go back. I'll go back and play it for you. Yes, I will. And he goes back and says, we haven't been since. And he goes, the reason we haven't gone is what? Money. That's what he says.
Go. Just go back. I want to watch it again.
All right, we're gonna watch the whole goddamn thing again. I'm gonna cut this out so everybody.
No. Just let's watch that first part again. We don't need to watch the whole thing again. It's not the first.
That's
stupid.
You're saying some dumb.
Just play the beginning part again.
You don't tell me to cut it off after he goes, because we haven't been, because that's exactly.
No, I want to hear the part where he says we haven't been since. I want to hear that part.
He doesn't say we haven't been since. He talks. He in his. All right, we're gonna play it. Watch. I'll show you.
Just play it.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money is a good thing. If you want to buy new things, new rockets, instead of keep doing the same thing over, then it's going to cost more money. And other things need more money too. So having achieved what the president wanted us to do, and then what thousands.
There's what he said right there at the very end.
The president wanted them to do.
No, he said, hear me. Okay, yes, exactly. Who do you think gets to decide on this shit? So he said, having achieved what the president wanted us to do. Kennedy, and we're going to get into the history of this in a minute, but Kennedy basically said, we're going to put a man on the moon. He had his famous speech, right? Because we choose to, right? He's saying, because we did it, right? The reason we weren't able to go back was because there wasn't the money to pay for us to go back. And we're going to get into all of this.
He didn't say that, John. He didn't say the reason we didn't go back was because of money.
Yes, he did. I'm not saying that a direct quote. You have to, the thing is that you have to, he's explaining to a child, first of all, why they haven't been to the moon. And he can't just go, well, let's see. Well, first of all,
No, Jonathan.
Listen, hear me out, Albert. You can't just go, hey, well, let's just, in 1965, little girl that's 6, the federal budget was giving over 4% of their total budget to NASA. And nowadays, in 2018, we're given less than 0.5% to our federal budget to NASA. So, little girl, I'm sure you're 6 years old. You understand that money, that means that there's not enough money because you're 6 and you know what that means. He's trying to explain to her why there's no budget in NASA anymore
But
to go
why?
to the moon.
Okay, well, explain to me then why he said the very first thing out of his mouth is that they didn't go, and it's okay to know why we didn't go.
Yeah.
Explain all that part to me. What did all that mean?
So what he's saying is that she goes, why hasn't anybody been to the moon since you went to the moon? And he's saying the reason why we didn't go, right, and that it's good to know, he's like, it's good that you're asking this question, it's good to know why we haven't gone to the moon, is because there isn't the money to go to the moon like
he said that we didn't go.
That, oh my fucking God.
What you think, we care about what he said.
And if you're a dumb motherfucker who just listens to the first 5 seconds and they repeat it and repeat it and repeat it.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to everything he says, Jonathan.
No, you're not listening to everything he says because you didn't watch. All right, what's the last thing he says on that video? Actually, let me ask you a question because you watched the whole video. You do your research, right? Let me tell you. All right, what does he say? All right, let's talk about it then. What does he say about going to Mars? What does he talk about that? What does he say?
Who gives a fuck about Mars? This isn't about Mars.
You watched the video. Just prove to the world out there that you watched it.
This isn't about Mars. No one has been to Mars.
Because you don't fucking read. You don't do research. You hear one thing and you believe in it.
This isn't about Mars. You're changing the subject. This is about the fucking moon and you know it.
Okay, let's talk about the moon.
I don't give a fuck about Mars. We all know no one's been to the fucking Mars, so who gives a shit about Mars?
Yeah, but we know that people have been to the fucking moon. So let's
I don't give a fuck. You're not changing the subject on me, Jonathan.
I'm not changing.
You want to talk about the fucking moon? We're gonna talk about it.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Listen.
And I'm here at Penguin UK to answer some of your deepest, most pressing questions.
This guy is. I don't even like this guy. By the way.
Oh yeah, you like fucking dumb motherfuckers. That's who this guy.
I don't.
What's the moon?
I
really thought about what it would take to fake a moon landing, because the rocket did launch. We all saw the rocket launch. Okay, so there's hardware there. They're like office buildings of blueprints for the design of the Saturn V rocket. The hundreds of engineering hours that went behind this and the records of those designs. If you wanted to fake the moon landing, you would have to fake all of these documents. And it just seems to me it's way easier to just go to the moon. Has anyone considered that? Just go to the moon. That's easier than faking all of this. So
the government fakes shit all the time.
Yeah, we went to the moon.
The government lies about shit all the time, Jonathan. You told me that they don't do that shit.
We're gonna get into it, man, because I wrote a whole bunch of shit for you, and we're gonna look.
That was a bunch of bullshit. What you just showed, by the way.
Play it off.
Why the fuck would he have said that to that little girl? If it was what he's trying to confuse her for no reason. That doesn't make any sense.
So the second video we watched was
let's confuse a little girl, right, Jonathan? Because that's what people do.
Hey, you want to shut up so I can explain the next video we watched? Because we watched a video with Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's
he's not an astronaut, but yeah.
Oh, okay. What is he?
He's a goddamn scientist. There's a shitload of those around town.
Okay, he's a very, very famous American physicist.
He's a very popular TV scientist.
Astrophysicist, okay? So anyway, we watched a video of him explaining why it's easier to just go to the moon, is what he says, than to fake a moon landing. So we're going to actually go a little bit deeper into that because even your fucking boy, Joe Rogan, admitted that we probably went to the moon and that at most they might have faked the moon footage is what he believes. But I'm going to show you a video that's going to debunk that here in a second. But on his show, he said we went to the moon is what he thinks, but the footage was probably faked and he said some bullshit. So and I've heard a lot of conspiracies about that. In fact, there was a movie called Operation Avalanche. Have you seen that?
No.
You should check it out. I know you would love it. But even in an interview with the filmmakers, right, And the producer, the director, the writers, right? After they got done filming this movie that's all about the moon ship being faked and Stanley Kubrick being involved, right? And the conspiracies there that he helped do all the film. They say, even in modern day, and this movie was made like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, that it would be easier to go to the moon than to fake the fucking movie that they faked. And that was with modern technology. But I'm going to play you a clip here from and this is just going to be for you because I can't play all this on YouTube, which is why I had to do it like this. But this is have you ever heard of a channel on YouTube called Adam Ruins Everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy has a great YouTube channel. I'm a big fan of it. Dude.
This video.
Now I understand.
So
now listen,
stupid.
Albert. Now listening to the way that you rationalize things and the way that your brain works, I can understand. I can understand. No. I can understand now knowing how your brain works because I try to show you some stuff that talks about science and evidence.
A corny ass fucking sketch.
You're like, oh, but hey, tell me this: is there science in there? Is there facts they're talking about? You don't give a fuck about.
Have you done research on? John? Let me ask you a question. Have you done your scientific research on every single person in that video that's claiming to be an expert?
Yeah, I know who that fucking guy is, and I wrote up this whole fucking episode. So let me tell you something.
And do you know who the people are that are playing the fucking Andy Warhol characters and the fucking Stanley Kubrick characters where they're trying to debunk all the craziness? It's like they're
actors.
Saying,
they're
actors. We have an actor playing Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, they're actors, and they're doing it because that's who Adam Ruins Everything is. That's his fucking channel. That's his show. Is debunking myths. Right? That's his entire fucking show.
He looks like a late night talk show host.
Okay, that's what he looks like. But that's what his show is, Albert. That's what his show is. It's a show about debunking myths.
He's an entertainer.
Right. And that's what his show is. And he debunks myths. And so if you listen, what he does when he debunks myths is not just give a bunch of feelings about, oh, look at fucking the old man's face.
So
he fucking says science.
Show about debunking myths would, of course, tackle the moon one. Thinking he has some, it's like, yeah, of course he's going to tackle that. He's going to find people to say whatever they need to say to make it look like he's debunking it for his show, because that's what he does when there's so much other evidence that you're not going to show right now that says that it was fucking
That
fake.
is literally what the video that I was showing you did, and you just bitched about it the entire time.
That's one fucking video, and there's countless videos about why it was fake.
There's another one. Like I said, there's that whole movie, Operation Avalanche. In the video, the director, writer, and producer admit how fucking complicated it all was and that there was no way to do it if you want to watch that video. But they said when they started making the movie, they thought that it was actually fake. And it wasn't until they had to fake a moon landing, right, and do it on film that they realized how fucking hard it was and what it took with CGI and all that shit. Now, there's other videos we can watch too. That Adam Ruins Everything is a good one. But it does use satire, and it does make a whole show out of it because that's what he does on his show. He makes it very theatrical. That's his show. You know
He's got like a fucking. He's got like a fucking. It looks like the guy has millions of dollars to put into a fucking sketch. Like Jesus Christ.
No, it's not that much. But he does have good funding, and he was actually on television. Now.
He looks like he was on television.
Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson also came out very simply and said what he believes. There's also a movie, like you said, these conspiracies have been out there for a long time. And when I mention Mars, I just mention it in the same way of that it's like, are these things possible? What does science say? If you don't know, there was actually a movie about a fake Mars landing in the 70s that came out about, I think, 2 years or 3 years after the Apollo 11 mission. It had O.J. Simpson in it, where he went to Mars. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
It's actually really fucking good. Regardless yes, of course it's all fake, but it's a fucking movie, and it's like, basically hinting at the fact that the moon launch was fake as well and all that. But check it out, Crimson One, it's really good. A lot of really quotable moments from that movie, actually. But the bottom line is, Albert, let me explain to you, and like I said, we can watch myth videos about moon landing. There's different ones. They talk about the lighting is a big one, right? Well, the lighting there's been light experts that say that that's all been debunked because of the way the sun is in space, right? basically everything. Like, if you name a conspiracy to me about the moon landing, other than the Buzz Aldrin thing, I would like to know, and then I can tell you.
I'll find you a video in 5 seconds, and I'll send it to you, and you can watch it, and you can tell me what you think.
Well, no, but is there any theories that you know off the top of your head? Because I watched a whole bunch of these when I was doing research for this. I saw the light theory. I saw the ones about gravity.
I've seen a Stanley Kubrick interview where he's talking about him filming it. I've seen that. Have you seen that?
No. I've seen one
Okay.
where he talks about. So here's the interesting thing that you have to realize about the Stanley Kubrick thing, right? People say there's a theory that says that he filmed the moon landing while on the set for Space Odyssey, right?
Okay.
That's the theory, by the way, the one that you're talking about, where they say he filmed it, right? That it was done on the set for Space Odyssey. Now, that's easily disprovable, and you want to know how?
How?
Go look at when he was on set filming Space Odyssey, and then look at the when they went to the moon, right?
Okay. Well, maybe he didn't film it. I don't know, but from what I've understood, that there's a lot of questionable things.
What I was trying to say, Albert, was that if you look at the era, I instead of jumping to a conclusion and saying, oh, this theory or whatever, I'm looking at history, and I'm gonna make my decision, right, based on what was going on at the time, to see if it was rational or not. You know what I mean? Based on the things they were doing. And I know because of the Cold War, right, the nuclear arms race, the battle for satellite and space dominance and all that kind of shit, I know that this was, regardless of whether faked or not, this was America's job, was to win this fucking Cold War, right? And if you look at the documents that have been disclosed, declassified, whatever, it all points to that. I mean, even the fact that we were bringing over Nazis, you know, to run fucking space programs in the 50s and 60s, right? It's crazy. But it's all, to me, that's very interesting. To me, that's more interesting than the conspiracies, because that's true.
Well, just so you know, that's all conspiracy stuff too. No, it's Nazi stuff you're talking about.
No, it's not conspiracy. Werner von Braun, right? The guy who was first of all, you know that space station on Space Odyssey?
Yeah.
He's the one that came up for that theory. Werner von Braun.
Okay, but they're what an old conspiracy that's maybe not a conspiracy anymore.
It's not a conspiracy, bro. You can go. It's been declassified.
It used to be. It used to be considered conspiracy.
Well, a lot of things have been declassified. You know what I mean? Like I said. So things get declassified. Hell, a lot of these UFO things have been declassified. Right?
I know. And they're not going to declassify the moon thing because it's too much of a historic thing. But they're not going to fuck with it.
But the thing about Werner von Braun, right, was declassified. He was literally a Nazi scientist, rocket specialist, and they used to hang up Jews, right? He saw that shit. He got to see that with his own eyes. And, yeah. So he was not a good dude. But anyway, he was one of the best rocket engineers in the world. And America didn't give a fuck because they just wanted to beat the Russians, man. And just so you know, all that Stanley Kubrick, I mean, he invented that space station, that prototype. Hell, you can watch his infomercials from the 60s. They're real crazy. He invented all kinds of crazy shit. But he didn't invent it. He theorized it. He said it was possible, right? They also said it was possible to live on the moon. But it would have cost fucking billions and billions of dollars. And I mean billions of dollars in the 60s, which would be like probably $1 trillion today, right? But anyway,
let me just, I'm going to change the subject. I mean, I'm still going to stick on this thing. I mean, bro, every time we get on Booze and News, most of the time we're talking about the American government. We're putting our heads down in disappointment. I mean, the American government hasn't done anything righteous or good for people.
But I don't think.
Listen. They haven't done anything good for people in years, and so of course people are going to be like, you know what? Yeah, they're lying about this, and this, and this, and if you give me any shred of evidence that they're lying, I'm going to believe.
But that's not a conspiracy, Albert. The thing is, we can look at it. You know what I mean? There's people who go, it's a conspiracy that the American government fucked up countries in South America like Colombia. And it's like, no, it's not a conspiracy. They've literally admitted it out loud. They have funded programs that do this.
Right.
It's not a
So
conspiracy.
if we're talking about a lying criminal government,
Huh?
why would I not believe that they faked the moon
What?
landing?
And people want, and look, also people want to believe in it, man. They want to believe because nobody, it's just like I told you, nobody wants to fucking think that the world sucks and that it's our fault and that maybe we're the ones fucking everything up by being shitty to each other and fucking the planet up and we can't not kill each other.
You know what? There's nothing wrong. You're right. But here's the thing. Here's my way of looking at it. At first, it sounds awful to think my government has been lying to me this whole time and it's all this fucked up shit. It sucks at first, but when you think about it, it's not that sucky. Because you're your own fucking motherfucker.
Yeah.
You make your own decision. Every day you wake up, you do what you want to do. If you want to fuck your life up, you can do it. If you want to be a millionaire, you can work your ass off and be a millionaire. The government's not going to stop you from doing any of that. Whether I want to believe these stories or not, that's totally separate than my own individuality. The government doesn't have to. I can say the government is evil and it's okay. I can still be happy. It's not a big fucking deal.
Well,
What's weird is when people say, "No, you don't want to be the government's bad because then that's not good." It's okay if you think they're bad. But it's not. Still be happy.
But here's the deal, Albert. I'm not saying they're not bad. I'm just saying they are being bad, but they're just doing it in our face, and they're telling us about it, and then we're saying, "Oh, it's fucking aliens or whatever," and it's like, no. These are people who literally will murder the entire planet. Like I told you, there was a program where they were just going to fire nukes at each other and say, fuck everybody. That was their plan. They admitted that was their plan.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something that conspiracy theorists are saying is going to happen soon. Just for entertainment purposes, okay? I'm not saying this is real.
Okay.
I don't fucking know. Okay. I don't fucking know anything. I'm just saying shit that I hear a lot about. They're saying that the government is going to fake an alien invasion. Right. This is what's going to happen. Right. They're going to fake an alien invasion to get the world to come together, and then this is going to so-called create the new world government. Now, here's the thing. Yeah. That whole thing might be bullshit. Right. But part of it might be real. I don't know.
Well, I'll say this. First off, it doesn't matter. Because there is no possible chance in hell that we can defeat aliens who can travel.
They're saying they're going to fake it. It's not going to be real alien. It's going to be a fake thing.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So there's no way that we could do it. So if everybody just goes, all right, well, the aliens win and they have a new government or whatever, but there's no way that we could fight aliens. So like when we were talking about funding military to fight aliens, that's just stupid. That's fucking dumb. But look. I don't know about any of that, right? All I'm trying to tell you is that the space race was always about militarization. It was always about beating the Russians, right? And to me, it all sounds, when you put it into the right context, it all sounds very logical, why they do what they do. And to me, it also sounds logical why they stopped going to the moon, because there was no benefit of it. Once they had GPS and shit, they didn't need to go. They could just bomb whatever the fuck they wanted to bomb. You know what I mean?
Well, I find it personally, this is just a personal feeling. This has nothing to do with anybody I've seen on the internet. This is my personal thought of it. Let's say that they went to the moon. If I went to the moon and when I was in my 20s and I'm now 80 and someone came up to me and be like, why haven't we been back? I would be like, what the fuck do I say?
But he does say that it's because of money. No, he says money.
Saying, like, isn't it weird though? But don't you gotta admit it's a little bit weird.
But he does mention money, and I showed you the budget, and if you look at it, dude, that's crazy. I mean, it's what 1/10? I don't think it's even 1/10 of the budget.
They should have. I mean, they spent all that time getting to the moon. And then there's no camera there. There's something like
you couldn't
built on it. Like we don't ever hear about it.
We didn't have the technology to leave a camera there forever. That didn't exist back then. It would have run out of tape. You got to remember, at that time we were still using film and shit, bro. We didn't even have digital film. You gotta think of what time it was. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna be tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. If you get a chance, I'll put some of these links that I showed up for y'all, so y'all can go check it out on your own and do your own research and look into it more. There's definitely tons about this. This topic alone, I watched for hours last night, Albert, just writing all this shit. So just so we could talk about it today. So hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been another issue of Albert's Corner with
Albert
and Jonathan. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers, you guys.